afternoon, Math 7-6 students, Jojo and Joel. We're here today to talk about Lesson 73, which is writing fractions as decimal numbers. We've already worked on this, and today we're just going to take it a little step further. We know that if we have a fraction, say 3/4, we want to convert that to a number that will fit into the spaces that come to the right of the decimal, so to speak. And we know that those places correspond to fractions with 1 and a 0 or multiple zeros after it. So if we can get the denominator of the fraction to turn into a 10, a 100, 1,000, 10,000, so on and so on, then we can very quickly and easily change a fraction into a decimal. So, for example, I see, does 4 easily fit into 10? No, but it does into 100, right? In order to change 3/4 into a fraction with 100 on the bottom, 4 times what equals 100? I can multiply by 25. I multiply by 25 on the top, and I get 75, and then I can write that as 0.75. Equals 0.75. That works very nicely, that method that we've used, as long as the denominator will fairly readily fit into one of those denominators that correspond to the values. But there's another way to do it that works all the time, every time. You never have to worry about it. Okay, so this is method 1. This, number 2, is our tried and true method. And with this, we remember that fraction line between speaks, and it says divided by. So this fraction is not just 3/4, but we can also read it as 3 divided by 4. And that reminds us exactly how to convert our fraction into a decimal. We take 3 and we divide it by 4. 4 does not go into 3, so we need to bring down a 0, or add a 0. 4 into 30 goes 7 times, that's 28. We subtract, we get a 2, bring down another 0. There's a never-ending supply of zeros on the right side of the decimal that we can bring down. 4 into 20 is 5. So we get the same answer with either method. This method works for every single fraction imaginable, and so we never have to question, will this number fit into one of these powers of 10? No, the divided by method always works, tried and true. Another example using this method, what if we want to write 7 and 2/5? Well, we could recognize that 5 converts easily into 10, but let's not do it that way. Let's do it the divided by method. We can ignore the whole number and just say 2 divided by 5. We'll need a 0 and a decimal point. 5 into 20 goes exactly 4 times, so this equals 7.4. Notice that there's no change to the 7. He just rides along. Okay, so the divided by method, remembering that this sign says divided by, reminds us exactly how to make the calculation. Okay, one last piece to lesson 73 involves a calculator. So I'm going to have you grab a calculator. For our purposes now, just a simple one that you guys have lying around the house. Probably fine. I'll talk more about that when we see each other. But if you have an older sibling with a calculator that they use for math, borrow that. Tell them I said you need it. And I want to get you used to using a mathematical calculator rather than just a basic one. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a calculator to convert a more complex fraction so that we can see what that looks like. We could divide this. We could do 15 divided by 16. We could grind through the math, but I want you to get comfortable with using a calculator. So here are the row of buttons. My calculator is busy filming this right now, so I can't show you. But first you press 15, the number, then you press the divided by button, then 16, and then equals. If you, and remember to clear it first. If you do this, you should get the answer of 0.9375. That should be the answer you get on the calculator after you press those buttons. And it makes sense because 15 over 16 is really close to 1, right? 16 over 16 is equal to 1. So 15 over 16 should be really close to 1, not more than 1, and that's exactly what this number shows us. It's close to 1.9, but it is not we accept as a reasonable answer. All right, that is lesson 73. If you look at the practice, you'll see that there are 6 problems where you're supposed to convert the fraction or mixed number to decimal form, and even though some of them could easily be solved using this method, I want you to use this method. Remember that the division bar says divided by, and think of it as 3 divided by 4 and do the calculation. I know this would be easier in some cases, but I'm asking you to do it this way. And then there are also 3 problems that require you to use a calculator and clear, enter the number divided by, you know what to do. All right, good luck with your mission to complete lesson 73. Thank you.